Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Counting on why fans think the Duggars are left behind? Counting on alums Michelle and Jim Bob Duggar raised their kids differently from most parents today due to their beliefs. They followed a certain homeschool program endorsed by the IBLP. Because of this, many of the Duggar kids grew up struggling to find employment and had to rely on their past fame to make money. Some Redditors also think that some of them are still stuck in the old world of technology. Keep reading to see why. Counting on. A Duggar finally changing history. Most of the Duggar kids weren't able to go to college due to homeschooling. However, Jinger previously took to IG stories to answer a fan asking if she's planning on going to college. According to the Counting On alum, she has never really thought about it yet, but she knows it's a good idea. Jeremy's wife added that she's the type of person who likes to explore new things, implying that her doors to college are still open, which could make her the first Duggar to do so. Why fans think the Duggars are left behind? Some Counting On fans on Reddit discussed the possibility that the Duggar family is behind today's technology. It's no secret that most of Jim, Bob, and Michelle's children were raised without gadgets or access to almost any technology. They weren't allowed to listen to modern music and could only watch faith-based movies and videos. But some commenters said that Josh was the deal breaker, having access to almost everything, including the adult-based website he visited. Several Reddit users also mentioned that some of the Duggars today have been thriving on YouTube, suggesting that they were able to catch up with today's technology. How good do you think the Duggars are with technology? Do you think they are with the times or stuck in the past? I bet pretty good, especially Josh. He was so good it got the notice of Homeland Security. I just remember some of those middle years of the show being really awkward because they were clearly all fine with using iPhones, but they still had those ramen noodles perm haircuts and floor-length denim skirts. Pretty good considering several have socials and upload to YouTube. The Youngins, as in the 19, they def know as best age goes. Boob knows what he needs to know. Meech knows I guess enough to get by. Counting On. Jim Bob Duggar trying to bring back family to reality TV. Another Reddit thread also speculated that Jim Bob Duggar may be trying to bring his family back to the reality show. This comes after the sudden online activities of his children, such as Jana, who hasn't posted anything on Instagram for over 2 years. Jessa also went on a barrage of Facebook posts and YouTube vlogs talking about her kids and her daily life as a mother, which is something that she hasn't done for months. However, some Counting On fans believe Jim Bob was only covering up the recent Ashley Madison documentary, where Josh was briefly mentioned. If you are looking for more Duggar family news, come back to TV Shows Ace for all your updates. Counting On. Why fans think the Duggars are left behind? The Duggar family, famous for their TLC show 19 Kids and Counting and its spin-off Counting On, has been a fixture in American reality TV for years. But recently, fans have begun to speculate that the Duggars may be left behind in terms of their cultural relevance and social progress. Once adored for their traditional values, religious devotion, and close-knit family structure, the Duggars' public image has evolved over time, and not always for the better. As the world around them changes, many wonder if the Duggars have been left behind in a rapidly shifting society. At the heart of this speculation is the Duggar family's strong commitment to their Christian faith and their conservative views on topics like marriage, gender roles, and education. The Duggars have long been known for their strict rules and rules surrounding courtship, modesty, and gender separation, many of which seem out of step with the more progressive and inclusive ideals embraced by much of mainstream society today. As younger generations become more open-minded about issues of sexuality, gender identity, and personal freedom, the Duggar family's beliefs have started to appear increasingly antiquated to some of their fans. One of the primary reasons fans feel the Duggars are being left behind is their reluctance to embrace changes in cultural attitudes. The family has faced criticism for their views on LGBTQ+ rights, with many pointing to the fact that some Duggar family members, including patriarch Jim Bob Duggar, have publicly spoken out against same-sex marriage, and LGBTQ+ opposition to these issues has placed them at odds with a growing number of Americans who advocate for equality and inclusion. The family's approach to women's roles is another reason some believe they're behind the times. The Duggars have long upheld traditional gender roles, with daughters expected to marry young, have children, and focus on homemaking. While many modern women are carving out successful careers, pursuing higher education, and making choices based on their personal aspirations, the Duggar daughters, from Jana Duggar to Jinger Duggar, have been criticized for their lack of autonomy in choosing their paths in life. This reliance on traditional norms, in a world that increasingly embraces diverse forms of success, has caused many to question whether the Duggars are truly adapting to the modern era. Another factor contributing to the sense that the Duggars are out of step with modern society is the family's continued adherence to homeschooling. While homeschooling was once seen as a unique and even progressive choice, it is becoming increasingly uncommon as more families choose traditional public or private education for their children. With the rise of social media and access to a broader range of information, many young people are questioning the limitations of the Duggar family's insular faith-based education. Critics argue that the children in the Duggar family, particularly the younger ones, are not being exposed to the full spectrum of knowledge, ideas, and experiences that could better prepare them for a rapidly changing world. Despite the Duggar family's more traditional stance on these issues, there is a group of fans who still admire them for their unwavering commitment to their faith and values. Some argue that the Duggars are simply choosing a different path from mainstream society, and that their family-centric approach is worth celebrating. However, these fans also represent a smaller and more niche portion of the viewing audience, particularly as younger generations of viewers become less likely to embrace the Duggar family's principles. The changing dynamics of Counting On reflect this tension. The show, which once focused on the lives of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, their 19 children, and their courtship rituals, has now shifted to spotlighting the lives of the married Duggars and their growing families. Some family members, such as Jinger Duggar, have begun to express more progressive views, such as adopting a more relaxed approach to parenting and wearing pants, which has earned them praise from some fans. Others, like Jill Duggar, have distanced themselves from the family's more rigid principles and begun their own journey toward independence and self-expression. While the Duggars have always embraced the concept of family first, their insular worldview, combined with their commitment to conservative values, has made it difficult for them to keep up with the broader cultural shifts that are taking place. For some fans, it feels as though the family is not growing or evolving in the same way that society is. The Duggar family's refusal to embrace change leaves many wondering whether they will continue to be a prominent fixture in American pop culture, or if they